I have just purchased a new boat. I just looked on the usual places, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Gumtree, all of the for sale sites, and when you find something that you think that you want, phone the person and then ask questions like service history, age, serial numbers, just the same as when you're buying a car. I couldn't do this when I was there because it was absolutely pouring down with rain. I'll just show you now. One of the first things that should be already agreed in your own mind is what your budget is. Don't look at boats that are outside of your budget because you will only overstretch yourself. On finding a boat that was in my budget, which was the same type of boat that I wanted, that I was looking for, rather than being like your general tyre kicker, you need to have a certain amount of criteria of a checklist in your mind which you need to satisfy before you get the boat. The first is that it has a roadworthy trailer. This is an SBS trailer and the trailer was serviced. Service history is in the back. One of the things that makes a sale amazing, the guy that I bought this off was an absolute dream to deal with. He has all the service history, he has everything in a file. Not only did it make it safer for me to buy, but it added price to him. Your boat will be worth more when you come to resell it if you have got all the service history, all the certificates, all the manuals, all the warranties, everything like that, because it gives you traceability. Now, first thing you're checking is condition. One of the main things to check is the condition of the keel. Now, this one does not have a keel band fitted. It doesn't have a steel band fitted. But under checking it, the hull is absolutely immaculate. The next thing, the engine. As I said, full service history was with this, and I also have the original manuals. That way you can track the hours of the engine, you can track to see if it's the original engine. All of it is traceability. All of it adds value to the boat, adds safety to me and value to the seller. One thing that you definitely need to make sure is if you cannot see it on the water running, if you can't take it for a test run, you need to run the engine. Now, you either need to fit some freshwater muffs to the side so it runs water through the engine, because you don't want to run the water, you don't want to run the engine dry because you will damage the impeller, or you want to drop it down and sit it in a barrel. You need to see the engine running. One of the main things as well is that when you're checking the service history is you need to check when the impeller was last changed. Now, this does have hydraulic steering on it. If it was a cable steering vessel, as in it's a cable running to the steering, then you need to really check when it was last changed. When I've had a chance to test her and set her up as I want to, I will do a separate video as a walk around video. I will just show you the little things that I was looking for when I was buying it, because it will be areas of known wear and damage which will either add value if it's in good condition or reduce value if it's in bad condition. The first thing is here. If this has been manhandled, that will damage around there. That is in pristine, immaculate condition. The trailer, straight away, as you can see, it is in excellent condition. Spare wheel is mandatory. You can tell the amount of wear something has had by the areas where it takes the most hammer. If there are anywhere where there's been something ferrous, you will see a rust line. All of this is just cosmetic, but generally in my mind, if someone has let something rust, there are other areas where he's possibly not taken as much care in as he should have done. If you've allowed something to rust, to delaminate, there are other areas possibly like your servicing that they haven't been on top of. If they have been so fastidious as to make sure that everything is immaculate cosmetically, generally, as a rule, they would have looked after everywhere else. I'll take the cover off and I'll give you a quick look inside. Other areas to look at are, just think about where would get the most wear, which would generally be where you climb in, where you step over, and the skipper's seat, the steering wheel. As I've said before, they might only be small cosmetic things, but these would be things that I would look at when I would think if they are in great condition, and those are the bits that get the most wear, generally everywhere else will be. I would look for areas and corners for delamination, possible cracks. As you can see with this, there is a reason why I'm very happy with it, and that's because it is in immaculate condition. Containers, you're looking for areas of wear or for damage, these are still perfect. These are areas which will go eventually when you get water ingress into fiberglass through where a rivet has gone. It will delaminate. As you can see, still in good condition. Another thing to look for are spots and areas of mould. It generally, again, it is one of those issues where if they've managed to take care of it in such a way that it hasn't got any mould inside of it, because damp and boats go together hand in hand, then generally the rest of the boat will be in good nick. Windows, window seals, all of this adds value as a seller or knocks money off as a buyer. I will show you, this is another reason why Andy was an absolute dream to deal with. All I did was I phoned him up and we spoke about, as I explained, things like age, service history and the price that he wanted. I knew from a few questions that it was the boat that I wanted. I knew already what price I wanted to pay, or I was willing to pay. I knew what price he had put the boat up for, but I just asked, what do you want for it? Like, what is the price that you want for it? Because if it's a price that he wants and it's one that I'm prepared to pay, both people are very happy. Now, if he is unhappy with the price, you might get gazumped. You might get someone offer more than what you have, so you'll miss out. If you're not happy, if it's more than what you can afford, you will forever be unhappy with it. Because as soon as there becomes something negative wrong with the boat, you will say, I wish I hadn't spent that much. So you need to stick within your own budget, and it needs to be a price that the other party is also happy with. Now, one of the things that you definitely want to make sure that you get when you buy is a receipt signed by both yourself and the other party, and it needs to include the serial numbers of the boat, the engine, the trailer, everything that you can put traceability on. This has the original owner's manual, and you need to make sure that it marries up with the serial numbers. These are all things where if you buy something like a Warrior, you can contact the people at Warrior and you can cross-check what the serial numbers are. This has a kit list, that is everything that's involved, and a service history, trailer manual, electronics manual and engine manual, everything. As soon as he started producing things like this, he kept such accurate records. I just thought, perfect. That was like a fantastic tick in a box for me, because everything there, it shows me that he was meticulous, fastidious. He was very, very caring about how he looked after his boat. That generally means that you're going to be getting a good boat. Right. I will mention, you also need to be sure that you are able, capable and legal to tow it if you're going to be towing it. That means that the vehicle that you are using is suitable and that your license is applicable. I hope this video has been helpful for you. I will do more on this boat. I've only just got it. I haven't even had a chance to properly get it wet yet. I will be doing more on this. If you have any ideas or any questions, please just leave me a comment. All the very best. See you later. I've got a beautiful day to have a look around. I've already checked inside and run the engine. I'm ready to hit the road. I'm very happy.
And I'm happy.
Well
done, enjoy.
Anybody interested in how I chose this type of boat, I have a comparison video which I will tag into the description.